Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Three Fools, One Brain Cells Sportscast. This week you got three normal sports casters, Weymouth, Wrath, and Ben. So what's up, guys? Oh, okay, that's what's up.
Oh, not much, man. Hope you boys are doing well.
I'm doing great.
Hell yeah.
Just been taking pictures of the sky lately.
Right on.
Oh, so I say the first thing. So an MLB expansion.
Yeah, man.
30 to 32.
They're talking about bringing two teams to the MLB, and they're trying to figure out, like, they're in meetings and all that jazz to figure out what cities are most deserving, if you will.
What? I don't know. I guess where to go with that because like what what places don't have a team that could use a team?
Well, I mean, I don't even know if it's in the running right now, but um I mean, Orlando, I mean, the way Orlando is about sports, it's kind of like, but I remember when we got the Orlando City Soccer Club, it was like every car in Orlando had an Orlando City Soccer Club like magnet on their bumper, or on their door or
Isn't there a team
all
already in
that
Florida though?
stuff. There's at least two teams in Florida. You got the Devil Rays and no, it's just the Devil Rays or the Tampa Bay Rays, I think.
I say if there's already like two
Because the
teams there, I
Mariners,
can't see adding another team to like.
no, I think it's just Tampa Bay. I think I could be wrong.
Is there a team in?
No,
There's got to be a team in New Orleans.
no, I don't think so.
It wouldn't be.
Um,
I don't even know
Not
if New
not
Orleans is
not in the
big.
MLB.
Is New Orleans
no,
like a big baseball place?
New Orleans, like, dude, Louisiana's mostly like football,
Yeah.
from what I remember. Um, so the eight possibilities are Charlotte, North Carolina, uh, Las Vegas, based on the probability that the Oakland A's aren't going to Las Vegas now. Montreal, Canada, because they don't have the Expos anymore. Um, Nashville, Portland, Sacramento, California, Salt Lake City, Utah, and San Antonio. Um,
I could see San Antonio like, getting a team.
but uh, I mean, honestly, I could see Orlando getting a team and them being hosted by the um, was it Wide World of Sports down there on Disney property.
Yeah.
Um, I could see that happening. Um, Texas already has don't they already have two teams?
Oh, probably.
They got the Astros and the Texas Rangers.
Uh,
Uh,
MLB teams in
so
Texas. Uh,
the two that
it's Texas
Stanton did.
Rangers and
Could you imagine if we got a fucking professional baseball team?
who?
Alaska.
No.
the
Why would you?
the Fairbanks icebergs or icicles. But I mean, Orlando makes sense. Um, but that's also because I'm from Orlando.
Yeah.
Uh, I'm trying to think where else has a big baseball following. I mean, the Midwest has, I feel like, pretty decent. Like the Corn Belt, like they have a pretty decent baseball following. Um,
Would it be worth even having like two new teams like in it? Like, is it getting
The
to that
thing,
point
like,
where
yeah,
they
dude,
need?
do they actually
because
need that many more games? Because that's like adding like
well,
300 some
the
games, isn't it?
MLB, yeah. I mean, the reason why is because the MLB been losing money since, I mean, for the last 10 years they've been losing money. And every time they bring in a new franchise, it adds a shitload of money to the MLB as a whole.
Yeah. Well, that's just because
And
they
I
have
think
so many
that's
new
why they're
teams.
wanting to do it.
But that's not a fix. Like, I, I don't
It's a temporary fix.
know. Yeah.
You know, it's not a permanent solution. But every time they try to add in new rules, new things, mix it up a little bit, they end up making the game worse.
Yeah.
But I mean, you got to think too. If they just add it in, you get beamed. They let you charge the mound. That's gonna bump up viewership, but they're not gonna do it because they're worried about their players getting fucked up.
Yeah. I mean,
But I mean, for good reason. That's a multi-million-dollar investment. I mean, look, what was it? The Angels or the Dodgers that just signed Otani?
yeah.
That's hundreds of millions of dollars. And if he gets fucked up, he gets into a fight, he gets on the ground, and somebody curb stomps his hand,
Mhm.
his career's fucking over.
Yeah.
You know?
I don't see that you need to add violence to it to make it more like just shorten the season a little, or not shorten the season, but not play as many games, I guess. But because then, like, cause you could lose. Like, how many games is there?
I,
Like
I think
total?
that's the last thing that they want to do.
Yeah.
Um, because I mean, shit, dude, the Oakland A's have like one of the worst attendance records,
Yeah. But what you could do is like
but
add the two teams
I
and shorten the
mean
season.
that's why they're relocating to Vegas.
Yeah. Because that helps. Nobody
Um,
wants to watch a team that sucks. If like, so I never understood like moving because of that reason. But if I could see
so
them like adding the two teams
the
and then shorten
the
the season.
MLB has an average of 162 games per season.
So add the two teams. Yeah, I could just say like shorten the season
And
and
that's for
move it.
each of the 30 teams. So there's a total of 2,430 games a season.
Yeah, so you just like I don't know, cut that in half.
Well, I mean,
You'd
if
make
you take that number and divide it by 2, that's how many games there actually are. Because it's double counting the games,
right.
you know.
You
It
just
is
make it more
possible for a
interesting.
given team to play a maximum of 22 games uh, in the postseason in a given year, providing the team is a wild card. It advances to each of the divisional series, the championship series, and then the World Series. Each series going the distance. So, I mean, shit happens. But I think the last thing they need to do is cut the games.
I think it would make it more exciting. Like it's like really you could lose like 5 games and it's just not detrimental at all really to your season. you could come back from that. The
But I
shortened
mean, hell,
season, the
dude,
more exciting it looks like to
I
watch. Like
don't, I
every
don't,
game is important, not just
I don't think that accounts as, or I don't think that accounts for spring training games either.
yeah. I think that's what they should do. Add the two teams, get the excitement of the two teams in, and also be like, yeah, we're making the season a little shorter. Do it for a couple years, see how it play, or I'd say 4 years, 4 or 5 years, see how it pans out, and
I mean, baseball season's already short as it is.
yeah,
I mean, the season's over by October.
right.
Yeah, but it's already rerunning in the winter.
You got April, May, June, July. I mean, you got, what is that, 7 months of baseball? Let me see. But I mean,
I don't know.
I don't think shortening it is the answer.
Well, you're not shortening it. You're
Um,
playing less games. Like you
so
can
the
vary that time period.
regular season runs from March, or sorry, the regular season runs from early April to late September.
I'm not saying like you have to shorten like
So
your
that's
season. Like just
5 months of
you shorten the
play,
games. Like how many games are played? Like if there's that many games
which is then
played,
going to shorten the season.
no, you can make the schedule go from
What's the point? Then you're getting into the argument of, oh fuck, dude, my team's running hot. Well, now we have 3 fucking bye weeks this season.
Yeah, that was gonna be my argument too. Yeah,
yes,
there would be just way too many buys.
Yeah, and that's gonna drop your viewership,
yeah.
which in turn is gonna lower your revenue that you're bringing into the franchise, bringing into the MLB. So I mean, I don't think it's a smart move.
Yeah, well then
But
Right,
Major League
we'll have to
Baseball is
see
gonna
what they
disappear.
decide
that's
on.
just me. We will keep you guys up to date on which cities they choose as that comes out.
If they do.
I think they said they're wanting to do it within the next 5 years. So
Oh, that's quite a while. But it's really only two. That's
oh, sorry, next several years. So 3 to 4 years.
same difference. They say 3 to 4 years, but then you still got to get that team. Like, do they do the same thing the NFL does? Like, if you become like an MLB team, do you get like draft picks, like an extra draft pick or something like that? I can't remember how they did that when they added
Dude,
rosters and stuff.
as much as I played baseball, I don't even know if there's a fucking MLB draft. Yeah, there's a draft. I'm fucking retarded. The MLB draft happens in July.
Really?
Yeah, it happens in the summer. This year it's gonna be in Fort Worth, Texas.
Isn't it like during like when the season's going though? Or do they
Yeah,
just
but it's
go?
postseason.
Yeah. Oh, alright.
They're not.
Okay.
They're not. Yeah, they're not eligible until spring training. Um, but I mean, if you make it from the MLB draft out of college and go straight to spring training, like just straight to spring training, and then you make the fucking final roster, that's the greatest baseball player ever. Like, I don't think I'm sure it happens more often than you hear, but I mean, it's like every good baseball player in the last 10 years that I've up with has you know, they get sent down to the minor leagues and then they come up and prove themselves.
Yeah.
Unless they're like
That's what I was
straight
gonna
up
ask, if they get sent to like
picked
a
from
minor team after they get drafted.
yeah, they usually send them down to a farm team or like a lot of the MLB teams have stakes in Mexico.
Yeah, we talked about that last week. If you basically get sent to
Yeah.
Mexico, your career's over.
It's either over or just starting. Like if you're an old timer and you get shipped down to Mexico, dude, you might as well hang up your fucking ball bag. You know, like you're fucking done. But if you're fresh out of college and they send you to Mexico or they send you to one of the farm teams here in the States, I mean, buckle up, dude, because your journey's just starting.
Yeah. Alright, so we got. Do we have anything else to say on that, or?
I don't.
Nope.
Yeah, so we got Leicester reuniting with the Red Sox.
Yeah, I mean, that whole thing just kind of. I mean, he got traded like 10 years ago or some shit. And I mean, they drafted him in 2002 straight out of high school.
Straight.
And then he ended up having cancer in his early 20s.
Yeah.
And then played in the World Series in 2007, helped them win, and also in 2013. But due to like contract negotiations, they traded his ass. And it looks like they brought him back on as I can't remember if it was as like coaching staff or if they brought him back to bring him back.
I was gonna ask if this was
Um,
a whole Great Bambino thing all over again.
Yeah.
no, they brought him back on a 2-day contract as coaching staff.
Uh-oh.
Which that's awesome, dude. I mean, if it's the one thing I can say from the Red Sox franchise in recent years, is they take care of their own.
I mean,
Um,
I guess, yeah, you said recent years, so.
I mean, it
I say,
granted,
this is the same team that traded Babe Ruth for money for a screenplay to the Yankees, but
I mean that's why we were cursed fucking 80 years, dude. I mean, if we're gonna get into it, at least he found his way back to Boston before the throat caught him, but it was the Boston Braves. So
I think the reason they traded him is because he didn't want to pitch. He just wanted to be like a full-time hitter.
yeah, he wanted to be a designated hitter.
From what I understand, he was like a really good pitcher.
Dude, he it was a surprisingly good pitcher. Like surprisingly good. I did a fucking report on him in like 5th grade. I got a sorry, the Toronto's bench is sitting here sniffing fucking smelling salts. I mean, he was
what?
he could
Uh-oh. I think we're losing him, Wrath.
We're losing him now.
Yeah, he went all robot-y.
oh, it goes down. Fucking
Here.
ridiculous. I'm here, baby.
Damn, you're losing your voice. It's been getting worse and worse since we started.
Yeah, it was a long day in the office. By the end of the podcast, I'm gonna be sounding more like Joey Diaz. Time to tighten up, cocksucker.
I was wondering if like something was going on. I'm like, what is wrong with with his voice. Like it's slowly getting worse.
Yeah, no, it's just my undiagnosed Babe Ruth fucking throat cancer.
Well, you were just going on about like, Babe Ruth, and all of a sudden you're like gone. It's like, oh, okay.
But no, I mean he there's a reason he was the great, you know.
A lot of my knowledge of the of Babe Ruth is the Sandlot. So the Great Bambi,
The great Bambino.
the Great Bambi, Baby Ruth. But then I started watching.
Was that the movie where they took a Babe Ruth bar and threw it in the pool?
No, they. There was a pool scene, but it had nothing. The ball didn't go into a pool. The
Oh
kid,
no, Squints acted like he was drowning.
Yeah, the
Maybe I'm thinking of the Goonies. I don't
what's
remember.
his name?
And we're gonna just get right back up on track, gentlemen. We ain't here
No,
talking
it was-
about
it was-
movies.
He swiped the ball from his dad. That was
Yeah, and it was Babe Ruth's
Babe Ruth signed
autographed.
and they hit it
Yeah.
over the fence, and the dog got it that they were scared of because they thought it was some
Yep.
beastly dog that would kill them.
Yeah, they
had
just
to
licked him
fall
to death.
back, and yeah.
Spoiler warning, 30 years later. Oh fuck. But yeah, man, I'm just glad to see that happen. Especially all the shit he's been through with them. It'll be interesting to see the effect that had. Unfortunately, because I don't have Bali Sports, I haven't been able to watch any of the spring training games, so I'm gonna have to wait until the regular season picks up for that. But it'll be interesting, that's for sure.
Wait, when did you say the official first game for
The opening day is, I know it's in April.
So they probably have what, a month and a half?
And it's the Dodgers and the Padres. It is Thursday, March 28th.
Just a few weeks.
Yep. But the first day or first game, excuse me, is Dodgers and Padres. So it's kicking off in Korea in the Seoul series from March 20th to the 21st is the first official games of the season.
And they're going to Korea.
And then all 30 clubs are slated to play March 28th. And then the regular season ends September 29th.
And then it starts like the World Series, doesn't it?
Yeah.
How many teams are in that? Like at the beginning?
In the World Series, it's usually you have the two. It's like the two, like two teams that are in the slot, and then it's. I could have this wrong because they changed all this shit a few years ago. But it used to be two teams that are in the slot with two wild cards, and then a wild card went against one of the teams that won the slot, and then the two winners from those would go on the American League and what is it, National League, and then they would go on for the World Series. But I think now it's something like 6 teams or some shit. Let's see. I want to say it's like 6 teams or something fucking crazy now. Here, we'll use last year's. So the wild card series, it was Toronto and the Twins and Texas and Tampa Bay. And then your two teams that there's wild card teams with two teams that earn the slot, so they get a bye week. And then the two wild card teams that win play the two teams that had the bye week, and then those two teams go in to the championship series. And then from there, those two teams with American League and National League, they go into the World Series. So it's 12 teams total.
That's a lot of teams.
Well, right? 4, 6. Yeah, so it's 12 teams total with 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah.
How often does a wild card actually win the whole thing?
More often than you think. The Rangers won last year.
You cut out like most of
Sorry, my voice is going to shit. The Rangers won the wild card series and went all the way last year.
Uh-huh.
So I mean, it happens more often than you think. And the Bruins just scored on the Maple Leafs again. Hell yes.
Well, speaking on hockey and the Maple Leafs, Tuesday, coach from the Maple Leafs, Sheldon Keefe, got fined $25,000 for unsportsmanlike conduct towards an official.
What did you
Oh
do?
shit.
Also on Tuesday, the Sabres, the Buffalo Sabres coach Don Granato also
Yeah.
did the same thing. His was during the game against the Florida Panthers. And
What
the 2-2
happened?
loss.
Like, did he go onto the ice and pick up a puck and throw it at the ref?
No, nothing that dramatic. More of acting like a child in the penalty.
Uh,
Continue to shout and point at the officials after receiving the penalty. Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, it was more of just
wait. So
being a professional in his
so did he
his
originally
station.
get the penalty, or?
so I got it pulled up here. So the Sabres forward Zach Benson received a penalty for tripping. Granato was visibly upset with the call and received a bench minor for unsportsmanlike conduct. He then continued to shout and point at the officials after receiving the penalty. And then later on that game, the Panthers scored the eventual game winner on a 5-on-3 power play. Just to rub in the fucking wound. Rub salt in the wound just a little bit more. That's great.
That's funny.
And then
Act like a child.
And then the Maple Leafs hit their coach, pretty much the same thing, but the officials ended up tossing him from the fucking game
I've never seen.
because he would
Oh no,
shut
I
the
didn't know that.
Yeah, they ended up removing him from the game. Although the Maple Leafs killed the penalty, Keefe continued to argue the call with officials for more than 2 minutes after. He was then tossed from the match with a game misconduct. The Leafs ended up losing 6-2.
You know,
Like I said, they were just acting like children.
oh, is that like the meme I've been seeing like go around with like a team winning 6-2 and just destroying one other team?
Probably.
But
Probably.
I actually don't. Maybe it happens more often in like baseball and stuff, but I'd never really see a coach get thrown out of a game.
Yeah, only in baseball do I really see that. I mean, hockey, it happens occasionally, but I mean,
Baseball, that's just a a night out of town.
What's the head coach's name for the Red Sox? Alex what
yeah.
or something?
Guerrero? No.
Fucking I think it starts with a V.
Yeah, I remember this.
But I've seen him get thrown out plenty of times.
Yeah.
You know, but I mean, I don't know, man. Hockey's just. I mean, I understand it with hockey because the game's so fucking heated always.
It's fast
You
paced,
know?
like you're back and forth.
Yeah, but I mean, hell, who knows? Who knows what they were thinking at the time? But I mean, I can't complain right now watching the Bruins beat up on the fucking Maple Leafs right now, 3-0, with 11 minutes left in the second. So I mean, I'm gonna be a happy camper tonight. I mean, I'm wearing fucking my Chara jersey right now. I'm wearing my away jersey, so you got to keep up those good vibes. And I know we play. I think we play the Oilers tomorrow night. So, I mean, it's we went from being the number one slot in the Atlantic Division to I think the Panthers finally took us over, but we need to win the next 3 games to hit back that number one slot. So I mean, we'll see. It's definitely possible. But our next 3 games are pretty fucking challenging. It was tonight we had the Leafs. I think it's tomorrow we got the Oilers. Which I mean, Connor fucking McDavid is key. And then Thursday we play the Leafs again, but we play them in the Garden. So, I mean, hopefully we'll have that home court advantage, that home rink advantage, But we'll see. We'll see about that.
I don't know. I see a lot of teams, they do better when they have to go on the road.
Yeah. Especially when it's this late in the season. I mean, people when they start seeing their playoff hopes away, which I mean, granted, the Bruins could go in to the number 2 seed and take it all the way. So, I mean, it all just kind of depends. They've done it before. But I mean, dude, we just got our ass whooped by the Islanders. I think it was yesterday. I mean, they beat us 5-1. It's like ever since Chara got picked up by the Islanders and then retired, it's like we've just been fucked.
This was
every time we play them.
Whenever I was watching or trying to get into hockey, I always remember the Bruins. They'd play really well against really good teams and play really shitty against the.
Oh,
really
dude,
bad teams.
that's still a fucking thing, man. Me and my buddy Nathan, shout out Nathan, we were talking about that shit the other day. It's like teams that we should beat the fucking brakes off of, they blow us out of the fucking water. And then teams like the Maple Leafs that should give us a run for our fucking money, we're fucking steamrolling them.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, we lost to the fucking Calgary Flames on Thursday, dude, in overtime. We lost to the Canucks in overtime. We lost to the Kraken in a shootout. Like, this should not be fucking happening.
Not gonna lie, I really thought you were gonna say crackheads for a minute.
They might as well be. It's fucking Seattle. I mean, goddamn. We lost to the Islanders. That fucking bad shit. I would just told the whole fucking team to pack up their shit. I'm moving up the farm, boys.
Yeah, so I guess nothing's changed from back when I actually watched hockey. They still do the same shit.
Dude, it's horrible. And then it's like, I'll never forgive them for blowing Chara's last season, or I won't say last season, But his last fucking Stanley Cup appearance, he gets his shit rocked, broken jaw. Then he just goes and levels the dude, and they go on to fucking lose Game 7 of the fucking Stanley Cup. Like, that was Chara's last chance, and they took it from him.
Yeah.
You know?
I never understood like that's got to be a coaching thing, like a coaching problem, like just not disciplined enough to win the easy games.
Well, I mean, it's gone through coaches. Like, I feel like every fucking coach that they've had in the last 10 years has done that shit.
Well, then it's probably an owner thing.
Like, the coach that they have now, he's only been with the franchise for 2 years. He came from the Dallas Stars in 22. So, I mean, like, I don't know if it's just a fucking team thing, but I mean, granted, they play more games. I think soccer is the only team, or sorry, the only sport that plays more games than hockey.
Yeah. Basketball doesn't?
I don't think so. Because, I mean,
crap, there was something I should have put in.
there's
the
a
chat.
hockey game on every night until October.
Yeah. There was something about basketball I should have put in the chat, but I was never able to actually send it.
But, I mean, it's just, it's amazing that how tired these guys get playing all these games. It's amazing that more of them don't get more seriously injured.
Probably. Yeah, but how long of a career do you have in hockey?
Shit, dude, Chara spanned like 30 years.
Yeah. Well, okay, I'll shut my mouth.
I mean, he
I was
played.
expecting you to say
He's
like
46 years old.
I was expecting you to say like 5 or 10 years.
He played 24 seasons with the Islanders, the Senators, and the Bruins between 1997 and 22. 2022 is his last season.
Yeah. Alright, so how long are you playing hockey at a high level? Like
He played from 1997 to 2022.
Yeah, but is he going into playoffs with those teams?
He did just about every fucking season he played.
Damn. Never mind. Okay, I'll shut my mouth. I'll stop.
I mean, he had 1,680 career points. 200. Now this is a fucking what was he, a defenseman with 209 goals, 471 career assists. Like, the dude was a fucking beast. I mean, if I walked down the street and bumped shoulders with him, I'd be fucking frightened, dude.
Okay, so is this like
He's 6'9".
Is this like a one in a generational player that does this, or is this like common?
No, I mean, look at Ovechkin.
Okay.
For the Capitals, man. I mean, he did the same shit. Bobby Orr played for fucking ever. Wayne Gretzky played forever. I mean, if you're good and you're good at what you do, I mean, he's a fucking beast, dude.
Okay.
I mean, he got picked up in '96 by the Islanders, third round pick, and made the team the next year.
Well, I've got no more argument now. That was my only other saving grace on my argument, and you just shot it down. So
He was a bad motherfucker, man.
That bitch didn't even get to take off before you shot it out of the sky.
You're goddamn right. But getting back to injuries, man. Kent Johnson is for the Columbus Blue Jackets. Got taken out indefinitely. He's their new forward. He got
Rest of the
fucked up
season.
against. Yeah, he got fucked at least the rest of the season. Um,
What happened?
that I'm not entirely too sure.
They're in the game against the New York Rangers on the 28th. He injured his, what was it? He tore his
It says body. Fuck.
in his left shoulder.
Tore what?
Yeah, dude. His
His
labrum.
Labrum. I don't know
What
what
is
that is,
that?
what muscle that is.
If I remember correctly, it's what attaches to your rotator cuff.
Oh. So not only
I
could
mean,
you
let
have
me-
a season-ending injury, could that be a career-ending injury?
It could very well could be. So the labrum is the soft tissue that surrounds the socket in your shoulder or pelvis.
Yeah, you kind of need that if you want to.
Yep.
Play hockey. So it's in your
So
pelvis.
it's there. It's in your shoulder and in your pelvis. It's the
Oh, so he did the
soft
one in his.
tissue or cartilage
So
in that ball joint.
So he did the one in his shoulder then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean that could be a career-ending injury.
Oh yeah, because they'd have to
For
take, like, the
for his
cartilage
sake,
and
I
shit
hope
out,
not.
and then he's gonna have like bone on bone, ain't he? Basically.
Yeah. But I mean, shit, dude. Look at David Goggins. That motherfucker's got bone on bone in his knees, and
I guess if you want to play, I mean, you're gonna be able to play.
I
But
think Toronto just scored a goal, but it got waved off.
was it an illegal goal?
I'm gonna have to wait until they come back from the commercial break. It almost looked like they had scored, but they waved it off. Either that or one hell of a catch. Either way, Toronto didn't get shit. Just the way the good Lord intended.
What you don't know is they actually scored, but they didn't want them to score, so they went to commercial break, and they're gonna redo it to make it look like he caught the ball, or not the ball, the puck.
This isn't the Patriots we're talking about here.
Still the Bruins. Still.
Oh shit.
They're all connected.
Yeah, but the Bruins are the shit. The Patriots ain't shit until we get our shit together.
I mean, 6 rings, so
Yeah,
God,
and
he's not delusional, and right now your team ain't shit. Like he said, he's
Yeah.
being humble. You're delusional. She's done
No.
it.
You didn't even let me finish. We can have some downtime. That's fine. We'll come back.
eventually.
But I don't want to go too far off subject. Actually,
Why football's the next subject?
yeah, but I didn't know if we were done talking about this injury.
I mean, he fucked up. We'll see if he comes back. That's pretty much all there is to that.
Like, what can they do for that? Just
Rest and
Surgery,
punish
time and rest.
inflammatories.
give you a shot every once in a while.
Yeah, give you a Depomedrol injection. But I mean,
It doesn't sound fun.
more than likely that'll have to be replaced if it's that bad. But I mean, shit, we don't have all the facts here. So I mean, it could be, something as simple as
So,
Tylenol and rest.
so it could just be something to follow up on next week's podcast.
Yeah,
Alrighty.
but
Well, I guess we can move into the football world. Has your hockey back from commercial break yet?
it has, and it was a hell of a save.
Oh, it was fixed.
But Toronto got a power play out of it, so we'll see what the fuck happens.
Yeah.
But it's a 2-minute power play. Oh, thank God, they waved it off. Got a minute 45 on the power play with 4 minutes left in the second period, so still a lot of game time. Hopefully the Bruins don't throw it away with fucking penalties.
Might.
But in more Massachusetts news,
Jesus Christ, why?
University of Massachusetts is rejoining Mid-Atlantic Conference
Yeah, I was just
for the 25-26 season.
I was just trying to read up on an article over that real fast, and every article I click on right now tells me, nope, you can't read this unless you give us $5 a month. Friggin' hate the internet.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully they get their shit together. Because, I mean, they got kicked out in fucking 2016?
What for? Just weren't good
Just
enough?
because they didn't want to become full members.
Oh.
Yep. That and shit performance.
Again.
But I mean, hell,
players
man.
actually come out of UMass in like the draft, or out of Massachusetts.
That I'm unsure of.
Like I know, like where I live, like UMaine actually ends up getting people every once in a while out of the draft, but like I don't necessarily hear a whole hell of a lot. Like when they do their whole little intro thing, I never hear like UMass or anything.
So, 43 professional players, 32 players were drafted. Kawhi, Tim Barra, Corey Blackwell, blah, 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 blah.
These are names I've never
Michael-
really heard of.
Michael Cox,
I've heard of him.
Victor Cruz, Greg Landry. But that's going back to like the 60s.
I got a question. Is Victor Cruz the guy they made? Is he the longest yard? Is that the guy that's talked about? Or am I just making a connection to a movie for no reason whatsoever?
I think you're making a connection to a movie.
No, because I know the main character's name was like Cruz or something like that.
Yeah, but that was Adam Sandler, and Adam Sandler's white.
Yeah, so it doesn't matter.
But
And the longest yard is that was the second time that movie was made.
yeah, Cruz hasn't played since 2016.
Oh well, that was that.
But he did get a ring with the Giants in 2011.
I hate him.
It looks like their most recent was Mark and Michael or Mitchell. Isaiah Rogers. And Jack Driscoll.
These really aren't names that I actually like noticed, like talked about.
No.
So, not very great players come out of Massachusetts. Is what you're saying?
No, they just buy good players. But yeah, so it'll be interesting to see how well they do that season. But who knows? And then there's that new did you guys see that new playoff model?
No.
I think I've seen people talking about it, but I haven't paid enough attention to it. Like,
It it's a 14 team playoff model for college football.
why?
I have
Just because
no idea.
is it because people are
Uh
just starting to get annoyed with the college like base or not college baseball, Christ, college football where it's always the same teams? It seems
Probably. But
that's
it goes into effect in 26 with 3 automatic bids to the Big 10 and SEC. Uh, um, and 2 going to the ACC and Big 12, and 1 to the highest ranked group of 5 team. So, I mean, 26 could be play out for an interesting year.
yeah, it could be. So that's
Uh,
going to be put into effect this coming football season, or because it's 2024.
well,
So
it coincides with ESPN's bid for the streaming, or not streaming rights, but broadcast rights for the college playoffs.
so what they want all the playoff
Yep.
games.
Yeah, they where was it? Um Boston's got a power play now. Um ESPN has reportedly offered $1.3 billion over 6 years for college football playoff rights in 2026 and beyond. Which, I mean, it's Disney, so they got the money for that shit.
You know, yeah, I could see it like working out to make the playoffs a little more interesting, but I don't know because I feel like a lot of teams get like snubbed from the playoffs, even though they have like an
Well, I
undefeated
mean, shit,
season, and they can't even go into the
I rem-
playoffs because
there was that big fuss with University of Central Florida because they didn't even make it into the damn playoffs, and they had undefeated season. It
yeah,
was like 2-3 years in the last like 10 years.
which I think is bullshit. If a team's undefeated, they should automatic like super not Super Bowl, Jesus Christ,
They
automatic
should at least
playoffs.
get like a fucking wild card. Like, goddamn.
You think you would rather have like teams with the better records, and because it's gonna make for more interesting games than, but whatever. They have their
Yeah,
system,
but
and
it's also not a big money's like Alabama, UGA,
hmm,
and Clemson. University of Florida, LSU. Those are all big money, big name schools.
yeah.
I mean, you got to think, dude. Fucking Alabama probably spends tens of millions, if not hundreds of millions of dollars a year
Oh,
on their
just
football program.
yeah,
UCF probably only spends maybe 20 million
yeah.
a year, if that. I mean, shit, it might only be 5 million. I don't know.
Sometimes I feel like if you could put a good team together, you could put a good team together though.
Yeah.
But
End of the second period, Boston still leads 3. Now, don't fucking blow it in the third, boys.
so we've got the UNC System Board of Gov Stop.
Yeah, the University of North Carolina's Board of Governors now has the power to move conferences if they see fit.
That sounds dumb.
And also deny requests.
Yep. So,
That's
UNC System Board of Governors now has power to control conference moves among state schools. So, it pretty much makes it more difficult for state universities to move from one conference to another. Is all that's saying.
I mean, I don't really know what to honestly say on it. Like, is it just so they can't go to a better conference if they decide not to? Like,
Pretty much.
what's the requirement on it? Like, is there like a vote?
Yeah. But this all came up after what happened in California last year or 2 years ago. When UCLA wanted to leave the Pac-12 for the Big Ten. But this is also for state.
Yeah,
So it'd be like if like NC State wanted to switch conferences, you know, the UNC Board of Governors could be like, nah, fuck you.
I get bent. You ain't going nowhere.
So
But is there like pros to doing that? Like, does it better your football program to be able to do that? And like,
I mean,
how does it work?
Nick, it's gonna be shitty. It's gonna keep shitty teams in your conference so you have more wins.
Well, that's just boring and dumb then. I don't feel like that makes players better, but I guess they don't care about how players are after they're
Yeah, it's like
done with them.
UNC, like Chapel Hill and NC State have to get them if they decide they want to try and leave the ACC.
Wasn't there like something just recently about a team wanting to move into something else and they just got like their shit pushed in by the other team?
I know University of Texas wanted to.
I really feel like there was a. We talked
The hell,
about it.
UNC Chapel Hill was talking about joining the SEC or the Big Ten.
Like there was a team that like thought they were good enough to like leave there and move into something else, and then like another team just came in and said "fuck you," and just.
That happened to App State a few years ago.
This was just recent. I feel like because we just talked about it, like during the season. I can't remember what it was. It had just happened.
I can't either.
Like a team wanted to go into like the SEC or something like that. I can't fucking. I could be completely wrong and not knowing at all what I'm talking about. But I feel like there was something on that, but I have no way to go back to it.
I don't remember.
It was like very early in our podcast that we were talking about it. We had just started it. Cause yeah, I think we had just started this like as like almost as like the college football was coming to a close.
Yeah.
So something happened there, like near the end of that. I can't remember exactly what it was. Wrath, you remember?
But I mean, we'll see how.
I had to step away for a second, be a parent, so I missed what was said.
I was trying to figure out.
Oh, Oklahoma and Texas were going to the Big 12 or moving from the Big 12 to the SEC.
Was that it?
Yeah.
And then one of them got like their ass handed to them.
Yep. And then Washington and Oregon were going from the Pac-12 to the Big 10. So it was Probably one of those teams.
Yeah, one of them teams that got like their ass kicked and were shown that they weren't deserving of being in there.
Yeah.
I can't.
I mean, hell, dude. Florida State's been trying to sue themselves to get out of the ACC, but I don't think that's going to happen either.
Oh, I felt like I thought I put this in the chat, but maybe I didn't. Did anybody see what the fuck? Antonio Brown is suing AB.
Mm-mm.
Suing the Aryan Brotherhood?
I don't know who he's suing, but like, like he's suing somebody who has AB because his name is Antonio Brown, like AB. Yeah, it was.
Oh, he lost a lawsuit.
Oh, all right.
I ain't gonna lie. What I just heard you say, it sounds fucking stupid. Anyways, I would have denied it.
Antonio Brown loses $1 million lawsuit. He owes over $1 million to a celebrity jeweler after failing to fight a lawsuit against him. Brown has been ordered to pay the money to Shuki International after failing to return or pay for borrowed jewelry.
Yeah. All right, that makes sense. I never really looked into it. I just kind of saw it and thought it was funny, and then
Man,
moved on.
you gotta look into it before you say something or that, or you just sound stupid.
Hey, somebody figured it out in a quick amount of time that I didn't.
True, and this is why we're lucky to have him, the guy who will search anything we ask.
What? It moves it into the
That's why you
NFL.
love me.
What's funny?
I said, that's why you love me.
Yeah. It just had popped into my head, and that it was just something that was interesting that had happened, but with a player that's no longer around, and it's had a lot of crazy things happen. But
I mean, hell, man, he's got to be running out of money.
probably, I don't know how you could, I guess, live way above your means, but
Not my problem.
no,
Not mine either.
But
And to show how little I care, I'm just, if you guys don't mind, unless you got more to say on it, I'm just gonna move to the next subject.
yeah, I was gonna move to
That's
the next
fine with
subject
me,
anyway.
baby.
I was gonna go on to Kelsey's retirement.
The Eagles, Jason Kelsey officially retiring.
Yeah, I saw that coming, but
Yeah.
even with all his,
I mean,
it might not happen. I
it's-
might come back and play.
I mean, it was teased months ago on he and his brother's podcast.
And it was teased on the last game of the year that this was going to be his final game.
Yeah.
And he did the whole, walking out of the stadium like every player does on their final game.
Yep.
You kind of knew he was leaving. I mean, great career for a center.
Yeah.
Probably one.
Did he ever win a? Did he win a? He won a ring, right?
Yeah. Against the Patriots. The best.
Yep.
But yeah, for a center, yeah, he's probably one of the more well-known centers, I would say.
I mean, he 13-year career.
I really didn't see him going. If he was gonna come back, I don't think it would have been worth it. I think he would have just ended up getting hurt or something. I mean, we look at him. He's 35, so he's probably like Wrath's age, 5 years older than me, but
Yeah, he's 36.
He's getting hit every.
I'm not 36 yet.
Okay, so
Damn.
No,
Give me a
Kelsey's
moment,
30.
man. I got a couple of weeks yet.
but I'm just saying, like you do that abuse to your body. That's just that makes you old quick. Like you're not old, but you're old. It is always weird, like when these retirements come up. It's like, man, he's only 35 years old and he's retiring. Here I am.
Man, y'all gotta right now, go on Google and just type in Jason Kelsey. His trending photo on Google right now is fucking hilarious. He looks like a fat Charlie Manson. That's fucking great, dude.
But I always do find it funny, like athletes, they're like, "Oh, retired." It's like, damn it, here I am. I still
Yeah.
go like 30 fucking years. Actually, longer than that, like 32 years. Unless the railroad board says they want to drop it down to 55. Hoping 55 and 30. I'm hoping and praying for that because I can retire at the age of 55. Right on the money.
He played 193 games and started all 193 games.
I mean, it's as long as you don't don't get injured. I mean, I don't really see centers getting injured a whole lot. Like,
Huh?
oh wait, no, yeah, you're right. Yeah, I don't know why I didn't think of that. I was as soon as the words came out of my mouth, my brain was just like, "You're an idiot. Shut up." Yeah.
He's a 7-time Pro Bowl player, 6-time All Pro, and he's got 1 Super Bowl.
Did he play in 2? Did he play in the?
Yeah, because he played in the one against his brother.
Oh no, I actually no. I want to go. Did he play in 3 then? Was he there when the Patriots played the Eagles the first time? Because I know he was there when the Chiefs head coach was there, and that's when they went to
He
the
retired
playoffs.
career with the Philadelphia Eagles. He made 2 Super Bowl appearances.
Oh,
He won the first in 2018 before falling short in the second last year.
okay, so he didn't play that first one.
That must have been the year before.
Probably. Oh no, actually, that was fuck, man. That was almost. The Patriots went to the Super Bowl against the Rams. They had 1 or 2 years they didn't go to the Super Bowl, and then won 2 back to back. So that would have been.
Yeah.
Why is it so quiet?
Because I'm not as fast as
I reckon his brother's probably gonna talk him into coming and playing for the Chiefs.
It was 2005.
Do a little Bronk Grady. Gronk Brady, not Bronk Grady. Jesus fuck.
Gronk and Brady, but they're not even related.
No,
I bet their
but
brother would be
Gronk
banging it all the time.
retired.
But they were always on point with each other.
Yeah, Gronk retired, and then Brady brought him back.
Man, you didn't watch that commercial? It was just a miscommunication with bad cell phone service.
Yeah. I love how when all that shit was going down, they had that commercial in where like all the Boston bartenders were all upset and shit. And then it like ended with them being like, you know what, if you guys ever want to come back to Mass, we'll take you back with open arms.
I mean, obviously. There's no way
Excuse me.
that like if Brady or Gronk walked into a bar in Massachusetts, they'd get turned away.
Fuck no, dude. The bar would probably let them drink on the house.
Probably.
I know if I ran a bar and Tom Brady walked in, I'd fucking let him drink on the house.
But anyway, we got.
After he signed Patriots jersey,
Did I what?
said after he signs my Patriots jersey,
Did you know that Brady actually doesn't sign a whole lot of things? He
exactly.
does for kids, but he
Like,
doesn't like for
I'll be
adults.
like,
He doesn't
yo,
sign
I'll let you drink on
autographs.
the house if you sign my jersey.
Which I find kind of cool. Like he'll sign something for a kid, but he's like, "Get bent. You're just gonna use this for
And
monetary
there
gain."
was somebody he was I ran into, I can't remember his name. He was in town for a conference, and he was a kicker for the Jags. And he got injured, retired, blah 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 blah. And he's like, "Oh man, like I played against Brady, and like after the game, uh, I went up to him and shook his hand, or like went to shake his hand, and he was just a complete and total dick and like brushed me off."
And
And I'm like, "Well, I mean, you're not a quarterback, so I mean,
that happens more often than not with like every player. In like, yeah, I don't care what they do after the game.
Someone talked to me about Russell Wilson leaving the Broncos.
Yes,
I don't think he left. I think he was removed.
he's gone. I think he was released.
Yeah, he shit his last shit.
And there was no no surprise to it really. Like once he got benched near the end of the season, it was just kind of like the final nail in the coffin. Like he's gone.
Yep.
Where's he gonna go? I've heard like rumblings of like him going to the Jets. So that
I mean, what's
means-
his dick? Aaron Rodgers is still with the Jets.
See, I've heard this isn't confirmed things, but I've also heard that like he's leaving the Jets.
I mean, listen to the Rogan podcast that he was on. He didn't say shit about it.
Yeah, I guess that's probably where it came from. Is people just rumors of or what he said was.
Who knows? Maybe he'll go to the
season.
Vikings next.
That would be hilarious. That'd be the ultimate.
That's what
meme.
Favre did, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That would be amazing. I'm not a huge
honestly,
Aaron Rodgers fan, but I would love him if he did that. Just to keep the meme alive.
Oh, okay.
So Russell Wilson's release. Over these last 2 years, you have welcomed my family and me with open arms, and have embraced as members of the Denver community. This city will always hold a special place in my heart. Our family grew here. We made countless memories and friendships, and formed relationships that'll last a lifetime.
See ya.
And then the GM statement was, "We spoke to Russell today to inform him of his release after the start of the league year."
Wait.
They pretty much were just like, "Bye."
Wait, so hold on. At the start of the league year, so does that mean he can't sign a contract with the team in the offseason?
Correct.
Oh shit! There was actually something today that came out that Mike Evans. We can talk about that after this. But yeah, that just came out today.
What?
It was something about Mike Evans that just came out today. But do we still have anything else to talk about on Russell Wilson other than we're not surprised?
We're not
No.
surprised. Like honestly, that literally is what it is.
But Mike Evans, he signed an extension with the Buccaneers.
Oh shit.
So that dead cap space now disappears. Yeah.
Well, not all of
just saw
it, but
that
a good
today.
chunk of it.
Well, not all of it, but a good chunk of it.
Yeah.
So he's gonna stick around. I think it was like a 2-year extension. So he'll
I
probably play
mean,
2 more years
yeah,
and probably call it quits or something.
it's a $52 million extension.
Yep. Yeah, I didn't even have the article on my
Apparently,
phone.
they're
The guy at
thinking
work
that Mayfield's
told
going
me
to come
about it.
back as well.
Who's that? Baker?
Um, yeah, Baker Mayfield. Now they're thinking that he's going to return.
So the whole conversation
Which,
was
if Baker Mayfield returns, then he's fucking going back. Or their cap space.
kind of
Shit, Mike
hurts.
Evans signing has to mean Baker signing is imminent.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, somebody at work was talking to me about that today. So I didn't have any actual articles on it, but we were sitting here talking about Russell Wilson. That just kind of popped into my head. And that we just talked about that last week and how that could fuck their whole like shit up, but obviously that got derailed and put on, but back on track.
they must have heard us.
I guess. I I don't see Baker Mayfield as a terrible quarterback. Like, why would you want to waver away from him?
I think it
he's
wasn't
not
it
even
contract
like,
negotiation.
it might have been, but he's not an elite quarterback, like obviously, but he's a good quarterback. Like until you can get to a position where you could get another quarterback, but
Yeah.
I think they were more or less. I was wondering if something was like going on, like with potentially trying to trade up in the draft to get a quarterback this year, and all those like options dried up, and now they're just turning back to Baker Mayfield. I wonder if that's what's going on.
Very well could be.
I just sign him for another 2 or 3 years. Let him play for another 2 or 3 years and see what he does. I mean, the Buccaneers don't have a horrible team, so you start dismantling the team now, then you're fucked. Like
Yeah.
they need to find
I mean,
another like Mike
they're undergoing
Evans.
the Brady effect.
Yeah, like with Mike Evans, like getting older and getting near retirement, like they need to find another wide receiver that's going to be number one. I haven't watched enough of their games to see their like offensive line and defense play, but so I don't know what they really need to fix on that, but they made the playoffs,
Yeah.
so I guess that's not always a. They won a playoff game too, didn't they?
I think so.
So they can't have a horrible team as long as they can re-sign people and keep people around, and the people that are getting older just try to replace them. And one thing I've never understood is like the draft that's coming up with like teams like that need like to plug in players. It's like, why are you taking a chance on your entire franchise for a quarterback that's, or not a quarterback, for a player that's not. I've lost my train of thought. I give up on it. Let's move on.
Oh no, 3-1.
Hmm?
Said Thomas just scored a goal for Toronto. It's now 3-1.
How much time's left? Dude.
And they just hit the one right off the fucking post.
At the age of 72, ESPN reporter Chris Mortensen has passed away. Started at ESPN in 1991. In 2016, he battled and conquered stage 4 throat cancer. I'm not exactly sure how he passed. I hope it's just old age or.
It would be probably a combination of both.
Yeah.
But old age and the cancer probably got to him. But pretty damn good career. Like over 32 years at ESPN. And he's probably had a longer career in football than just that, but Venom, it's not sounding good for you. We've talked about throat cancer like 3 or 4 times today.
I know. But that
He had a good, dedicated career.
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
30 years, man.
I never watched enough of ESPN really to see his work, but 32 years. Did it go all the way up to this year? Must have, if it's 32 years.
He this last year he took off to focus on family and health.
No.
Though he had been enduring an 8-year battle with throat cancer, there was no immediate word on the cause or place of death.
Yeah, I haven't been able to find anything. I'm literally just thinking I think he just died of age.
It's probably
Natural causes.
Yeah, it's probably just a combination of both, and I don't really want to sit here and speculate over someone's death, but it's sad. Had a great career, and I hope the families of this guy can get through it.
Absolutely.
Alright, last but not least, racing. Who's got
Man,
this one?
that race was phenomenal. After the talk last week, I was pretty excited to see that F1 kicked off for the year.
Oh, that's when we were talking about yeah.
But what's his face? I always want to call him Vertac, but that's not how you say his name. Verstappen and Perez, both on Red Bull's team, placed first and second. But I mean, at one point in time, Verstappen was like a solid fucking, I think 45 seconds ahead of everybody else. He ended up with a 22-second lead above his teammate. Which is
What was the lead? What was his teammate, the one that was behind him, or the closest behind him, or?
yes. So Red Bull
Okay.
placed first and second. Yeah.
Okay.
Uh,
Damn, a 22-second lead. That's a
yeah,
lead.
dude. So what's crazy too, I didn't know this until I was watching it with my friend Beck, and I didn't know this. He told me that, you know, Ferrari's engines are made by Ferrari, Mercedes is made by Mercedes, McLaren's McLaren, so on and so forth. Red Bull's engines are made by a fucking watch company, and I want to say it's Rolex.
I would say hard to believe, but also at the same time, something tells me that could happen.
Well, you got to think, dude. All an engine is timing.
So what are we? It's Red Bull's F1.
What's Red Bull driving though? Obviously, I've never heard of a car called a Red Bull. So what? Whose car
Rolex
drives
makes
it?
it.
Huh?
Red Bull has their own like Oh, Honda
Honda,
is
yeah.
making their
It's the Honda
Oh no!
RB.
After the Japanese automaker left Formula One. Oh no, never mind. All right, I'm crazy.
Mike, you were
So
saying?
after Honda left in 21, they started making engines for Red Bull.
Yeah, it's the Honda RBPT 002.
Which
Take
is
it, that's the car.
That's the
yeah.
engine.
Well, that's the
Oh,
engine.
that's the engine. I would still like to know the car.
The car?
Is it Oracle? Chassis Red Bull Racing AlphaTauri,
Yeah,
Okay.
which is Red Bull.
we were just talking about who was making the engine, so that's what I was looking at.
Since they started in 22, they have 17 victories with 28 podium and 794 points.
Honda makes a good engine, though.
Of their 8 pole positions, they also got their 8 fastest laps.
We're still talking about Red Bull?
Yeah.
Yeah, Honda does like make a really good engine. Like I've never really heard a whole lot of complaints about it.
Nah.
Like long lasting, good, decent engines. So like, I mean that's what all them 3-wheelers were made out of, and them fucking things are still going today. That and I feel like a lot of our like small engine stuff is made by Honda too, that we use at work. Like our power pack.
Ford is going to be making an appearance in F1 in 2026, following the new engine regulations,
So
as a
not
part
modded,
of Red Bull's race
coded.
team. They're going to be doing it as a part of Red Bull's race team.
Oh, so that's potentially then leaving Honda and going to Ford?
I don't think they're going to be leaving Honda, more so as because Formula One, their new engine regulations go into effect. So what I'm reading here is Ford will provide expertise in areas including battery cell and electric motor technology, as well as power unit control software and analytics, and combustion engine development. So maybe, I mean, it very well could be.
Something I always wondered, like with these like
Yeah, it looks like Honda's gonna pull out, because the company is gonna be renamed to Red Bull Ford Powertrains.
So this year and probably next year is going to be like their last year with them.
Yep.
So one thing I was always wondering, what did these like companies like Honda get out of their engine being used? Just showing
Money.
off what they can do.
Pretty
money,
much.
Advertisement.
Well,
Yep.
that's what I was wondering. Like I didn't know.
I mean,
like, Red Bull paid like Honda so much money to have their engine in their car, or if they just go off like we could show off your engines, show what it does.
I mean, I'd assume it'd be around the same thing as like Kick has, like Kick the streaming service.
Yeah.
They have a race team in F1. So I mean, I'd assume it's just for advertisement, you know.
The engine? Like the people who make the engine? Not like Red Bull.
No. Like they have a race team. Like the platform Kick.
Yeah, I know what you're saying. Am I asking the same question?
I don't think so.
I don't think I am either. Like, cause I I understand what you mean.
I
Like,
don't think
Red Bull
the
has a race
people that
team,
own
King
the
has a race
streaming
team.
service are making engines.
Yeah, okay. That's what I was. That's what I was more or less asking. Like, what do these companies that make these engines get out of their engine being used in these race cars?
Let's see. It's the Kick Sauber Stake F1 team. Boston just scored. It's now 4-1. And let's see. Their power unit is Ferrari.
Is there
So
like a contract? There must be.
Oh yeah, there always is. This
I really
just means
wonder.
contracts coming up, and they're not resigning.
I really just want to know how it works. I guess. Because I really can't feel like a company just gives them an engine and says, "Here you go, show it off," without some kind of compensation. But maybe they do.
but also then you have other companies like how Ford was back in the where it was like we need to show off what the fuck our cars can do.
Yeah. I mean,
Uh,
maybe.
I mean that's how Shelby came about.
Mm-hmm.
You know? That's why we have the 4G.
Maybe.
No, not maybe. That's literally why we have the Ford
No, I'm saying
GT500.
like maybe that's the reason why they do it. Like,
I was about to be like, the only reason why we have it is so that
no,
we could beat at Le Mans.
no, I'm just going off the just the, maybe that's why they do it, just to show their shit off. But
Yeah.
I really
I mean, of
just
course, there's going to be some financial compensation for it, but I mean, watching the straights, and that's where Verstappen fucking gets everybody, dude. His average speed in the straights was like well over 200 miles an hour.
I can't even fathom going that fast.
Yeah, his average speed was 210.3 miles an hour.
Like even straight, like, goddamn. Like not even in like a
Uh,
curve or a turn,
uh,
like just straight. Like I couldn't
yeah.
fathom going 200 something miles an hour.
That's
But I mean,
easier
shit,
to
dude.
admit, and the rest of the world isn't.
You had let's see, out of all the teams that raced the Bahrain, 1, 2, 3 teams were using Ferrari engines, and Ferrari still lost.
Is there like a point where like these engine companies just say "fuck you, you suck," and like you're showing our engine in a bad light?
I'm
Yo,
sure.
I think your focus is like really in the wrong spot on this. You're asking us questions, man, that we don't even care to know because it doesn't affect us.
I mean, it affects these race cars.
Not to the point where I gotta watch shit.
I mean,
Half of
I
them
mean,
all run the same. They all run the same engines throughout. You know, this person
yeah.
but I'm
like
just
the
like
Red
wondering,
Bull's
like,
not the only one that's running the Honda, and
well,
Honda's
yeah,
making money off of it, and that's all that matters to
In
them. And plus, they I guess it's more of they get to push the performance of their engines as well to
that's
upgrade
what
for future.
things like I'm wondering
um
is like, it's like they just like a racer gets their engine and they just suck this bad. Does
yeah.
There's a
does
contract.
the engine company, can they like step in on this team and say, "You need a new racer or we're leaving"?
No, they just
No,
work on it. Contract comes up.
the company would just pull the engine,
To just come
like,
and take
cause
the engine out of the car? Like, we're taking this. It's mine now. Bye.
A-
yeah,
after the
because
contract expires, yes.
Ferrari, like, so Ferrari's weird, right? So there's like certain stipulations, and you own a Ferrari. It's like you can't change XYZ to it. If you do anything out of regulation, we come and repossess the car. Like, and
Yeah, you can
it's
hurt
so fucking weird what they can do, and it's because you sign your name on a little dotted line. Like, you can't um like, say you were to go to the dealership right now and go buy a Ferrari.
Yeah.
There's certain things where it's like, if you decide you don't want this car anymore, you cannot sell it in a private sale. You have to sell it back to Ferrari. And then from there, Ferrari will decide if it can hit the public market or not. And it's like the same thing with Bugatti.
So what happens if you own the car?
And
Like, you've paid it
no,
off.
that is
Yeah.
owning the car.
Yeah, I know. I mean, like, what if it's like paid off? Like, I owe nothing.
That's what he's
Anybody.
saying. It doesn't
You
matter.
still,
You could have paid
Wow.
that up front,
yeah,
full
you
up
still have
front,
to sell it
and
back to them, or else they'll sue your ass.
Fuck that
all right.
company.
Well, we're way off topic here.
I mean, not really. We're talking about engines and
No, we are not. We are now talking about owning. Yeah, we're nowhere near the conversation, the right topic.
I mean, we are talking about
technically,
Ferrari vehicles,
yeah, we are.
which race in Bahrain. Bahrain.
Yeah, but we went in the
But,
private sales, which is not.
I mean, you don't have
dude,
to
if I
stay
could
full
get
of
one of
profit
these
the whole
fucking cars
time.
in a private sale, that'd be fun as hell. I'd probably die 2 days later.
I just find that like incredibly like, why would you ever want to own a Ferrari at that point? Because you don't own it.
I would. The next big race is this weekend. It's the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix. The qualifiers are Friday night, and Saturday night is the race.
Tune in to see
So that'll be.
what happens.
I think it'll be a good fucking race.
I don't know.
A lot of straights on that track, but it's also pretty fucking curvy.
Straights are like I don't mind straights like that. Like that's like I honestly think that's where you can put the car to its like full potential to do something. Like in a turn, like that's the driver. Like knowing what to do, which obviously is important
I mean,
in a race, but I'm not discounting that.
it's not like NASCAR where the tires are aligned and adjusted so that you barely even have to turn the wheel.
Yeah. And then the most exciting thing is when somebody goes squarely and takes out half the racers.
Yeah.
But
I think in that Bahrain race there was only one DNF, which is pretty surprising, honestly.
is there usually more?
I mean, I honestly couldn't tell you, but I figured there'd be more.
Well,
Let's see. They got a double DNF, so that team just didn't even fucking finish. That's fucking absurd, dude. Yeah, let's see. Sorry, I'm waiting on my internet to catch
So-
up with me.
is there anything interesting we didn't cover that just like you just saw that
Apparently there was a hellacious flying knee during UCF fight night on Saturday. or UFC, not UCF. Jesus Christ. I don't know what I said. I know I typed in UCF. Jairzinho Rosenstruik landed a hellacious knee on Shamil Gaziev in the 4th round, knocked him the fuck out. I didn't catch it, but I caught the highlights from it. That shit was insane.
I wouldn't want to catch a knee. Like, ow.
No,
That's
dude,
like-
that shit would suck.
That's like giving the elbow, like the knee and the elbow. Like, I'd rather get punched in the face than like taking a knee or an elbow. Fuck, I'd hate to hit somebody with my elbow. Just thinking about that makes it hurt.
I'd rather not do any.
No, but if I had a choice.
But UFC 299, the main card looks very entertaining. You got Sean O'Malley against Marlon Vera for the bantamweight. I think that's the bantamweight title. And then for the co-main event, you got Dustin Poirier against Saint Denis, which is also probably going to be a great fucking fight. And then it's only, I don't even think they've announced UFC 300 yet. But they did. It's going to be in April. But it's going to be Max Holloway and Justin Gaethje. So that'll be, I mean, that whole, the whole build up to 300, I think, is going to be insane.
The most interesting thing I got to bring up is what Wrath got mad at me about just because it was something New England posted. Was the player that doesn't believe space and other planets exist.
Yeah, that's just the public education system failing.
That was
I'm going to punch you for bringing something up that fucking stupid.
it was hilarious.
It is stupid.
It's dumb, but it's just like why? Why is it even like a question that's being asked?
Because of people like you. Who
But it
just
made
want to talk about something stupid like that.
but it made no sense for one to even be brought up into a question for an NFL combine thing. Like, why are these questions? Like, who are these reporters that are going in and asking these questions? One, the answer was stupid, but the question was just as dumb. Like, it made no sense. Why are we asking this kind of question at an NFL combine tryout? It doesn't matter. Can he play football? Yeah? Okay.
For those of you that give a shit that are listening, UFC 299 is March 9th, starting at 10 p.m.
And that wasn't even the only like question that was asked. Like there was another one with that was asked of like the whole bird conspiracy thing to another player. It's like why are reporters asking these questions? Like it makes absolutely no sense. It's stupid. It shows nothing of the player.
It just shows that the public school system sucks.
That and it just they'll ask any question for clicks. And it's just dumb. Like I rather reporters ask like specifics on these players, not what they think about space and conspiracy theories, and it's dumb. That's where I was getting with the my link and my response to that. It's just they're dumb questions. If you're a reporter and you're going to an NFL combine, ask a good question, not something dumb like that. Go talk to a scientist, not an NFL player. That's all I got this week. Everyone's quiet now. Alrighty, and I'm ending the episode.
All right.
If you made it an hour and 45 minutes into this podcast, leave a like, comment, and subscribe for more.